G'day folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Bush TV. Okay, so as you can see, or some might know, I'm situated in the little iconic town of Dargo. The Dargo pub is situated right behind me there, with a brand new mural on the wall that was done last week. It's actually spectacular. So on this episode, ladies and gents, I am heading into the Crooked River where I'm going to camp. We're going to do some river crossings. I'm going to camp right on the Crooked River. It's a pristine little spot. And then tomorrow, head up Basalt South Knob Track, all the way to the Dargo High Plains Road for a high elevation camp. Sit back, relax and enjoy the Bush TV. This episode is proudly sponsored by the Sign Shop Australia, the Licola Caravan Park, ProFit Kitchens and YV Sheds and Barns. Well, it's right on midday and I've just hit Dargo. Reckon I'm going to stop and get a little bit of lunch in here. Just visit the general store, maybe a sausage roll or something like that. Long haul up from the bottom up to the McMillan's Road. It's quite steep. It starts off at like, I don't know, something like 200 metres above sea level, and we're already sitting at about probably 800, so it's quite a steep little drive all the way up the top of McMillan's Road on the Dargo High Plains Road. Well, I'm just off the blacktop, so I might as well air the tyres down. For what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to drop the whole thing to 25 psi. Sort of glad I dropped tyre pressure. This road's obviously had a bit of rain and it's not just corrugated, not too badly corrugated, more just like potholes, a lot of potholes. So with the tyre pressures down, it gives it a much better, smoother run. If you're running at 40 or 45, you're just going to shake everything to bits. Running down to 25, 24, a lot smoother. Well, I'm in Tarbotville. It's not the place I usually camp, but I'm in Tarbotville. It is what it is. There's not many here, so let's set the camp up for the night. Talbotville was another small gold mining town in East Gippsland. Gold was discovered in the Crooked River around 1860, but the town vanished after the gold had run out. All that really remains now is a few stone walls and many gold mines in the area. Okay, so Tarbotville it is tonight. Like I said earlier, it's not the place I generally camp. Luckily for me tonight, there's not many people here. I did flood my chainsaw just before trying to cut a couple of bits of wood that I had on the roof rack. I've never flooded that chainsaw before, ever, in my times if I've owned that farm boss. One of my subscribers has just camped over there. He came over, introduced himself, and cut my couple of bits of wood for me. So I've forgotten his name already, but I will shout him out, and a big thanks to him for helping me out cut those bits of wood. It is getting a little bit dark to film, so priority right now for me is to get the camp set up. I might roll the awning out, I might not. It's going to be a damp night. There's a little bit of cloud cover coming over, so not too damp. We'll see what happens. So that's the Crooked River just behind me. I just done Crooked River track. I did, like, I don't know what they were, about 6 or 7 river crossings, maybe more. I didn't count. There's a couple of little spots down there. They're pretty damp and wet, so that's why I decided to camp in Tarbotville for the night. It's pretty cold. With our spud, we're going to spread them out. We do it rough here, right? Let's get it on. Perfect, right? So they worked out well. Stick them on there. Gravy quick. Nothing major. Some gravy and some spuds. Tonight, some chicken schnitzel, beautifully cooked on the frying pan. Spot on. It's cold, we're at Tarbotville. Let's kick back, relax around that with a couple of froths, hit the swag, and see you in the morning. Thanks for watching the Bush TV. Hope everyone's enjoying it. If you do like this content, hit that thumbs up and I'll bring you more just like this. Well, the sun's coming up nice and early, which is good, and it's nice and chilly. It's probably about 0 degrees, I'd say. Everything's frozen on the car, so all these little fairy wrens jumping around my fire. And last night I had a wild cat in the camp. I couldn't believe how close it got to me. Okay, so I have a little bit of a leak in one of my front tyres. It's coming out of the bead. I haven't hit nothing. It's odd. So when I move some 2 feet, it goes away. So I've just pumped up the tyres. It was down to 10 psi, so just pumped it back up to 25, and we'll see how it holds up. It should be okay. It's not leaking now, so we'll see what happens. We're going to hit Basalt South Knob track right now, and then we're going to hit Richie's Road to the Dargo High Plains Road. So hopefully this holds up on me, and I don't have to put that 10-year BF Goodrich spare tyre on that's on my roof rack, because that's a bit of a job. So one of these days I'll get a rear step with, and I will put the tyre on the back like I have in the past. So we'll see what happens. We're just breaking camp now. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, or just about 9:30 I think it is. Let's hit the tracks. So it seems I do have a leaky bead. I just got across the river and had another look at it, and it's bubbling out. I gave the tyre a bit of a kick with my foot and it seems to stop. Just pumped it up again, singly, didn't even check the pressure. Probably up to about 30 I'd say. We'll just see what happens. Like I said, I don't want to have to get up on the roof rack if I don't have to, so we'll see how we go. I'm heading towards Basalt South Knob track right now. It's not too far away, and got a couple of little river crossings before that, and we'll see how we go. Okay, I just got out because I was going to walk up the track and do a bit of video, so thought I'd just go and check that tyre again. The tyre's fine. That's a torch on the tyre. I have discovered a little leak right there. So that tiny little heater hose that runs down to the bottom is leaking. I am not having much luck this morning, but luckily for me, I carry spare heater hose in the car. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to replace it. I've got all the tools in the back. So what I did notice when I looked under the car about the tyre was that drip right there, and it's a little bit green. So it's coolant, right? So at first I thought it was just river water until I sort of put my hand under it, and it wasn't warm. It was cold because it's running off the chassis. So with further inspection, that's the problem here. I am about, I don't know, 1 click up Basalt South knob track. It's pretty gnarly. I just did some gnarly stuff then, and there's a bit of a climb ahead of me, so I'm going to get this fixed right here, right now, and I'm going to keep going. So far the tyre's okay, so touch wood that doesn't do anything. It's just got to fix this heater hose. Alright, so I got the T-junction off, and thankfully this thing's brass, because there's another one in there that's a plastic one and it's deteriorated, I just found out. So funnily enough, I've got another one ordered on the way. So now I've got to get the little bottom hose off under there and then put this back together with a new one. So there it is right there, as you can see. It's got the T-junction off. There's the other hose down there. It's that little one there that goes down to that steel pipe, down to that pesky little hose down the bottom under there. And I've already replaced that one not long ago. And yeah, should have done the top one. There it is. Okay, there it is. That's the one that was leaking. So let's make up a new one. Alright, that's the only little bit I got left, but it'll do the job. Okay. Right, let's put it together. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it. There it is. It's right there. That's what I just replaced. So that's done. I sort of put a bit of water in the radiator. I didn't lose a lot because it's up high. So it's not a bottom leak, which is good. If it was a bottom leak, I'll have to put a lot more water in. So she's cooled down right now, and because it's on a bit of an angle as well here, the bubble will be at the top where the cap is. So I'll open it up and just top it up. I'll have a quick look at it and see what the go is. Lucky I checked it because there's quite a bit of water missing. So I'm going to top it up right now, and then I'm going to start her up, let it run for a bit, check for leaks, hopefully everything's okay, and then we'll hit that track behind you. Well, so far so good, no leaks. So the job's done. I filled it up a little bit, not too much. It took about 2 cups of water. So luckily I found it when I did. I'll get to the top of this track, probably would have cooked the head. So, like I said, the job's done. Let's hit the track. So a little bit of an indication on how steep this is. This camera doesn't do justice really, but it is pretty steep. It's a good track. Okay, so I got to the top here and the hose has let go on that little part that's broken on the heater tap. I had a feeling that would happen because it was deteriorated. So when I put it back on, I wasn't sure whether it was going to hang on or not. So we have another job to do. So I just got to the top here. It was lucky. I was pushing it. Temperature was starting to climb. So I pushed real hard to get up that last section. So I know what to do. I've got some parts. And I'm going to bypass the heater tap. I did have a bit of a feeling about this one. It's come off right there. It's come off on the heater tap. So it's snapped right there. She's pretty hot, so I've got to let it cool down. So I've got to let it cool down a bit. I've lost a fair bit of water on that one, so it's a bit of a shame, but we're right. I've got 20 litres of water in the car as well. She got a bit warm. I was a bit worried. So anyway, check out the view while we're here. Let's check this out. So this is like a chainsaw spark plug socket, right? That's what it is. So I've shoved it in there as far as I can sort of get it in. It's pretty tight already. So I'm going to cut off this piece of hose at the right length, and then I'm going to bypass that heater tap. So I'm just going to bypass the heater tap. I do have another one on the way. It's in the post. It's probably at my house as we speak, but I don't have it on me. So I'm going to cut the other hose off the heater tap. So I'm going to cut that off about there. I'm not going to take that off. I'll just take off this runner bypass straight through there, straight from here to here. So that's all we're going to do today. I'll leave that on there until I get home. So hopefully this works. Well, I mean, it should do. There's quite a bit of hose on that, so we should be right. Some people think I just do this type of thing for content, but I can guarantee you I don't. I don't come away into these types of the high country or anywhere to have this type of problem ahead of me. So it's a bit of a setback today. I did, or was going to do Blue Rag Range, but I'm not. So I'm going to head up to the Dargo High Plains Road, and there's a little hut that I've seen online on another video. So I'm going to go and check it out and get the ball rolling, wait for this thing to cool down just a little bit, and then fill it back up and hit the track again. Take two. Okay, so you can see where that heater tap tube broke off inside that pipe. Now, like I said earlier, I had a feeling that would happen, right? So anyways, I've improvised. I've put it back together. The little bit of tube that is going in is very tight in there. So look, I'm hoping I don't need a hose clamp because I'm one down, right? I might put a cable tie on it real tight as well, just to make sure, but I think it's going to be okay. The other little tip is, if anything like this does happen to you guys out here, this car is now hot, as you know, right? Now, when we fill up the radiator, we don't want to put cold water in that radiator, right? Because that could crack the head, and then I could have a whole lot more issues to start with. So what I'm doing is I'm boiling my billy. Okay, so I'm going to boil that, and then we'll get it nice and hot at least, and then tip it into the radiator. Maybe not boiling hot, but it's not going to go in cold, so we don't want to crack the head. I have been sitting here and listening to it. It's like ting ting every now and then. I think it didn't overheat. Like I got it before it overheated on the gauge, so hopefully I haven't done anything or any damage to it. I don't think I have. I pushed it pretty hard coming up that hill behind me just to get to the top because I knew there was a problem. I could smell the coolant. There's the repair over the back there. Okay, so it's running. I've had it running for about, I don't know, a good 7-8 minutes or so. Radiator's full. There was a little bit of coolant left in the radiator, which was a bonus. Did dump quite a lot, and I have used a substantial amount of my 22 litres of drinking water. But we're going to head up to this little hut right now. There's a little river or creek there, hopefully, that I can use for water supply. So we'll go and check it out. So far so good. This thing's not leaking, so like I said, it's running, it's up to temperature, no problem so far. So touch wood, this is it. So I've lost about 2 hours of my time today. It's well after midday now. I did break camp at about, I don't know, 9:30, 9:45 or something like that today. So hit the track and get to this destination, this hut. So we'll go and check it out. I'll go for a bit of a drive and I'll check everything out to see if it's all sweet. And hopefully it's all good. Should be. So yeah. Alright guys, so that brings this one to an end. Well, part one of it anyway. So make sure you tune in to the next episode to see what we get up to. Finish off Basalt South Knob track, hit Ritchie's Road to Vidago High Plains Road to check out that nice little hut that we're going to camp in tonight. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all staying safe and enjoying the Bush TV. See you in the next one.